Again, this gonna be a topic of Toolkit, a class that in Java we gonna use this to find the size of screen resolution settings, width and height. Okay, and the reason we want to find this because then we can control the location of the Java dialog or the dialog box that pop up where it should go, right? On the middle, on the left, on the right corner, top left, top right, bottom left corner. You need to know the screens. And the reason why we need to know the screen again because different screens, different users have different screen resolution settings, and we always want our program to work with all the resolutions. So last time we looked at how to use the graphics, right? Graphics environments, graphic device, graphic configuration, and get a rectangle and get width and height. Now this time we're gonna look at how to use Toolkit to do this. So first, what's Toolkit? So this class is pretty much, don't worry about this if you're still basic. You'll learn this in 201, next level of Java. It is a class, pretty much just a class. Okay, that part of the abstract window toolkit if you want to read this way. Okay, we know AWT, right? Pretty much you have to import from AWT. That's what I try to tell you. From this statement, you have to import from java.awt.toolkit. Because subclass, which we learn subclass, it's like when you do applet, we extend the applet. Make your class as applet, right? Happy face. Many GI events may be delivered to user asynchronously. Sometimes when you're new to this, when you read this, you guys say, what? Which, if you research some more and more experiences, you understand exactly what they tell you. At this point, you scan through it. Just grab as much as understanding as you could, right? How to use this thing. That's what we want as a goal. Right, so it said, as well as many GUI operations may be performed asynchronously, this fact means that if the state of a component is set, and then the state immediately queried, then return a value may not yet reflect the requested change. So it's just talk about the event handlings, things like that. Now, like when you do scrolling, when you do moving your mouse, that's what I try to tell what is a toolkit going to help. But we want to say how we can get width and height. You see, talk about beep. You can control the sounds too. You can change an image. Okay, you can actually control the image on the display. Create buttons. Okay, so let's scroll down to which one should be. You can create a dialog. So we're looking at the method that we can use to create windows. So it looks like we can get something about windows. Graphic environments. Get, we want to see something like get. Get screen size. Oh. Get screen resolutions. Okay, so we have get screen size. Returns dimension. Okay, so we need to have a dimension class. So let's try that. So we said we need to prepare dimension, right? Just like it's return dimension. Like if you do next byte, like scanner, keyboard next byte, what do you have to prepare? Byte, because returns byte, right? I need to prepare dimension class. So I put dimension. It's part of Java AWT, so we can type import Java AWT dimension. And like spell out the name dimension. Or if you want to be more specific, just say screen dimension, right? Equals to, we said toolkit. How to use toolkit? Is it static? No. You can't just do toolkit dot get screen size because it's not static. Then you have to instantiate it, right? With a new keyword. That means you have to look at the constructor. Okay? And it's not protected. It's default, right? Remember that four types of modifiers? Private, you cannot use private. You cannot instantiate it. If it's protected like graphics device, look at it's protected. You cannot instantiate it. You cannot use that. You can only use public and default. Default just like this. No modifiers defined in front, right? So let's create the toolkit object. Name toolkit instance, right? New. Call the constructor that we just looked at. Toolkit. Caps K, right? You always class the rules when you name it. Always what? Capitalize between the name, right? It's one word. Okay, so toolkit. So this one is one word, toolkit. Then you don't need to capitalize with the name. Import it from Java AWT toolkit. Cannot instantiate. So meaning that default you cannot use it too. Then you cannot directly use it. You can only use. Let's check the option pane why we can instantiate more. Let's look at constructor. Here is default 2. Then we should be able to. This is toolkit. We should be able to instantiate, right? So we can look at, to resolve the issue, we can look at if we can find any statics, then we don't have to instantiating it. And I know why they don't allow you to instantiate it. This is a concept of design pattern in Java or in the software engineer. This is called singleton. Singleton means sometimes you don't allow the object to create more than once. Like a scanner, you can have keyboard, right? Keyboard 1, keyboard 2. You allow them to create so many objects, which is fine. But for the system, local system configuration, do you want to have many objects of that? Or you want just a one? A single is one. That's why we call concept of singleton. We're going to create a static method to return that object instead. Don't allow anyone to instantiating it. And that makes sense because it should be just one, right? Then, just like the graphic that we have seen, when we try to do, as an earlier example, when we use graphics, right, we try to instantiating it, we couldn't. We have to get a singleton and instant from the static method. This is a singleton. It's always referred to this graphic environment locally to your machine, which should have just one. Okay, so it's just try to protect. We call the concept of software engineering called singleton. So this is going to make us to have to use the statics get default toolkit and return that object of toolkit. They don't allow you to have more than one object. Always the same object back. Now, Then we can say Toolkit can have an access to the method get dimension, right? Get screen size, which returns dimension. We get screen dimensions, then we could just form screen dimension. It is a dimension that you can get the width back, right? Get the width of the dimension, which dimension has the width and height. Same screen dimension dot get height. Alright, so then now you can put the location of your dialog box back to get the screen width, subtract the dialog get width, and screen height subtract dot the dialog dot get height. So pretty much just the size of your dialog. Then it should snap to the bottom right corner, right there, right when you pop up. Okay. If you want it to top right, so just change this to be 0, right? Actually that's bottom left, right? Because we control the width. But top right, then you have to control the height. Change this to 0. Okay, so that worked exactly the same. Now bottom, top, left is going to be all 0. Now let me try to compare back to with using the graphic environments, right? So exactly the same result, right? Back. Okay, so and it's going to be on the top of your windows because of JFrame, right? Now let me try to run this again with a toolkit. If you minimize it, stay there, right?